Richard Marks for Nick Swardson, because that's the way I feel about you, man.
Thank you.
He is in the new movie you can stream on Netflix right now, The Do-Over. Adam Sandler, David Spade, Luis Guzman, Michael Chiklis, Sean Astin. They've all been on this show, including you, sir, back here, Nick Swardson on the Rich
Hello,
Hansen Show.
Rich.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And you're also on the Do-Over stand-up comedy tour with Sandler, Spade, you and Rob Schneider, and special guests starting tomorrow night in San Francisco.
Yeah, very excited.
And then after that, you're at the Santa Barbara Bowl, which was, by the way, great when my alma mater played in that. They were great. That's the Santa, or is that not where football games are played?
I don't know if it's played.
Bowl.
It might be. Is Radiohead a football team? Because I saw them there, so I don't know. That might be.
They're great. They're great. How are you, man?
I'm great, dude.
Good to see you.
Yeah, very good. I'm really excited about the tour. It's a pretty surreal lineup. I mean, Sandler hasn't been on tour in forever, so.
I was about to say, when was the last time Adam Sandler did a comedy tour?
He opened for Chaplin, I think 1922, way back.
Now, Chaplin was wild, right?
Chaplin was crazy, man.
He did. Did he steal material? Was he a material stealer, that Charlie Chaplin?
I think so, man. I think he was homeless. He was a tramp and he was whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, so...
That's a good... By the way, that went right over the Christian Man's head. They had no idea.
Yeah, I know.
He's making reference to a Charlie Chaplin film. That's what he just did.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
But yeah, no, it's cool like having Sandler be excited about touring, but I think it's been like 25 years since he's like gone like hardcore on the road, so
one after another after another.
Yeah,
and then
like
Spade, and then Rob Schneider too.
Yeah, yeah, a couple spring chickens hitting the road.
I love it, man. That's great.
Yeah.
And this film, The Do-Over. I just mentioned all the folks who are in it, and this is straight from Netflix. They tell you who's in it, as well as the plot.
Right.
About two down-on-their-luck guys deciding to fake their own deaths and start over with new identities, thus the do-over.
Doing it over.
I don't see Dan Patrick's name on this list here.
We're trying to contain him. Dan's kind of, he's getting really intense. Him and the Danettes have...
Yes.
They've kind of gotten into a mob mentality where it's like kind of a gang. It's getting a little scary. So we're trying to figure out how to handle them. Like, they showed up at the premiere on the red carpet, and it's really, they stick together like a pack on the carpet. There's food all over their face. They don't care about anybody. You're doing an interview, and you'll feel, they attack your eyes first. That's their kind of go-to move. And then right to the genitals. So it's eyes, and then they swoop down, and it's getting scary.
You don't expect that. You don't expect the eye genital 1-2 punch. And so, but I do believe Dan does get proprietary about Sandler, though.
Yeah, he does.
I feel like that Sandler's the DP territory. His films are that territory, and not. That's why, I mean, I wasn't even at the premiere, you know?
Yeah, no.
Because I would feel like that's like an Anchorman type turf war.
Yeah, no, it's...
Right there. Would you agree, or am I reading too much into it, Nick?
No, you're not. That's the thing, is you're not at all. Dan is crossing lines. He's trying to squeeze everybody out. He's making up lies after lies about people.
Yeah.
You know, he planted guns in my pocket on the red carpet.
Is that right?
He's like, Swardson, oh my! You know, and I was like, what is this? It was like, you know, just drugs. It's, you know, he's really trying to squeeze people out.
Wow.
Yeah,
So I am onto something.
You're onto something. Sandler found a treehouse across the street where Dan would... He built this little kind of ramshackle treehouse, and he just sits outside. He's got the binocs.
In the Palisades? There's like a Palisades treehouse or something like that?
He's a red flag right now.
Dan's out there, man.
He's gone rogue.
He's gone rogue. But so what can you talk about your role in this film? Because this is a mystery wrapped in an enigma. What is this?
It's like this broad action comedy, but my character, I literally can't talk about it. Like, my character, it runs throughout the movie, and then at the end you find out who I am, but it's got like a lot of twists, and it's like, oh, is he good? Is he bad? Is he good? Is he... So it's really hard to explain, but I can't talk about it. I told my mom about it, and she's missing. She's gone missing.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I made the mistake. I thought we were alone in our kitchen, and she's gone. So if you've seen my mother, please let me know.
Now, has there ever been a moment where you and Sandler and everybody else, Covert, who's over here, Alan Covert...
Shared the same toilet, yes.
No. Well, yes. No, where you came up with an idea for you for a character, and you said no, I just won't do that. That's a line that I won't cross for you. Or have you basically said yes to everything that they've put in front
I'll
of you?
usually just say yes, but sometimes it'll be like a slow yes. Like it'll be like Sandler always kind of will do a character, and then somehow my character ends up looking horrendous or being physically abused.
Yes.
Or something. You know, he'll just add things like, yeah, I was thinking maybe your character in this scene, what if he just like gets hit with a bat? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
That's the slow yeah.
Maybe I'll, like we did that movie Bucky Larson, classic. And I remember when Sandler we were writing it together and Adam came up with the idea and he was like, you know, what if your character, you know, he was like just like a regular dude at first. And he was like, what if he has like a bowl cut? And I'm like, yeah, all right. And he's like, yeah, what if he has like horrifying buck teeth? And I was like, yeah, okay. And he's like, what if he has like a penis that's like a Skittle and it's horrifying and you're like naked like a bunch of times in the movie? And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And so like your dreams of being a movie star, you're like, dude, I'm gonna be on the big screen. The sexual floodgates are gonna open, and then like every character is just this creature from some lagoon.
He's so nice. How can you say no?
No, he's great. That's why it's a long yes, but it's always a yes.
It's a long yes. I love it. The Do-Over on Netflix. We're taking a break. Back in 60 ticks of the clock. Are you going to any Vikings games yet in the new stadium?
I got my tickets for the home opener against the Packers. So I'm very, very, very excited.
We shall discuss that and more with Nick Swardson. The Do-Over on Netflix, and then the stand-up comedy tour that starts in San Francisco before going to Santa Barbara, Chicago, D.C., Brooklyn, Boston, and the famed Uncasville, Connecticut.
Yeah.
That's all still to come here on The Rich Eisen Show. Back in a minute with Nick Swardson. Welcome back, hanging out with the man who born to be a rock star.
Yep.
And Netflix's The Do-Over, which you can start streaming on Friday, May 27th. And then go see Nick Swardson along with Adam Sandler, David Spade, and Rob Schneider in the Netflix Presents The Do-Over stand-up comedy tour that you can just go on and just Google it and get tickets right now to go see these guys do some stand-up comedy. So you are a big Minnesota sports fan. You're a big Twins fan. You're a big Vikings fan. So let's talk about the Vikings.
Yeah, let's skip over the Twins.
What's going on,
Let's do a hard hop over the Twins.
As you take a big gulp from the Rich Eisen Show mug.
Okay, cool. Bye, Twins.
What's happened, though, man? They were making a playoff run last year.
I don't know.
Back. You're feeling good. You got Sano and all these young kids, and they're 18 under 500 now.
I know. It's insane. And it was one of those things where I was, like, kind of distracted because this is such an intense time of year with hockey playoffs and NBA and all this stuff. And so I was kind of, like, peripherally following. And then, you know, I, like, kind of jumped in and I was like, oh. Yeah. I saw, like, our record and we were just getting crushed. I'm like, yeah, it's, you know, the road. We're just not winning road games. And then it was like the home games, and it was just every game. And it's like, oh, no, we're just really bad at baseball.
That's right. It's not going well.
Yeah, all this young talent. And I mean, hopefully, you know, people are like, Minnesota sports fans, like a lot of cities, like they'll just give up. They'll be like, you know, they're done. You know, these guys are scrubs. But Minnesota's like, you know, it's a slump now, and then we're going to pull it up, you know. They're just in a down slump, and then we're gonna come up, and it's like, no, it's gonna,
it's not going well. But the Timberwolves, you know, Karl Anthony Towns,
so excited.
He's for real. Wiggins is for real.
Yeah.
That this team has got some gumption. It's got something going on with it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Wolves. Everybody is. I mean, they're hungry, and you know, Towns is so grounded, and he's really confident. And I was excited about his Rookie of the Year. I tweeted him, and he didn't like it or do anything. So
what do you mean?
I was sad inside.
What does that mean?
I said,
here it is, at Nick Swardson.
Yeah, look what the nice thing I said.
Congrats to my best friend in the world, at Karl Towns. You added him. For unanimous, all caps, Rookie of the Year, 4 exclamation points. He's my best friend, parentheses, never met him, and then in capitals, go Wolves with 2 exclamation points.
Yes.
How did that not get?
I don't know. Normally my tweets are filthy. And I made an effort to write a really nice one that was
Could he
clean.
have been scared off by the llama avatar or whatever you've got going on?
He might have thought I had horrible cosmetic surgery and altered my face into a zombie llama.
Well, just like, you know, there's when things are unexplainable, you sometimes go, go a conspiracy theorist. So
I might have thrown him for a loop.
Llama with an afro? Is that what that's saying?
Yeah, it's this picture that I've just been obsessed with. I call him Mark. My buddy sent me this picture of this llama.
Mark the llama?
Yeah,
Very
and he has this like little afro. Anyway, but we're really excited about the Wolves.
And the Vikings now. Okay.
The Vikings.
This is real deal. This is for real now.
This
is it.
And Adrian Peterson said, he's like, we're making a move now. He's like, if we're looking for a time.
King's column. You're reading the mmqb.com.
Oh,
I like it. Look at you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just told Rich I got my tickets for the home opener against Packers, and that's, you know, that's like the most intense game.
In the new beautiful facility.
Beautiful stadium. Looks like kind of like a Death Star. It's like all like black and very sleek, and so hopefully we'll kill some fools.
And then you've got Peterson saying that.
Got Peterson saying that. You got Teddy in his third year.
Teddy in his third year.
We had a really solid draft with Treadwell.
Don't forget the German guy.
Oh yeah, German dude.
Moritz Thoringer.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't that sound like a character you could play though? German guy.
For sure.
Grows up, sees Adrian Peterson on YouTube video.
Yeah.
Tries out.
It's amazing.
But instead of it being a 6'4", 200-pound guy that could run like the wind and actually catch, it's the role of a lifetime for you.
It's little me, a doughy, pale guy from Minnesota. Looks like he's made out of frosting.
Passes himself off as a German to get drafted in the National Football League.
Yeah, and then I ride Nyquist! And said I ride Nyquist!
Am I wrong? I think we're onto something here.
I like it. I'll call it a Sandman. See if he'll write it up. Then I'll get hit with a bat. And then I'll have a tiny wiener, and it'll be great.
The Skittles wiener.
Yeah.
The Skittles wiener.
Skittle peen.
By the way, that could be the nickname of the Binghamton baseball team. The Binghamton Skittlepeens.
Binghamton Skittlepeens.
That's perfect.
Was that one of their options, Brotman?
I'm going to have to go back and look.
I didn't hear the word Skittlepeen before.
I don't think so, but it might be on the list.
I get merch rights for that, for Skittlepeens.
Yes, yeah, get that thing trademarked before you hit the road, dude.
Their thong uniforms.
People could be hearing that right now, and look out. So, but Vikings-Packers, that's a great one to start off that stadium, too.
It's great. And again, like, just not to harp on Minnesota, but...
Go harp.
You know, it's funny because I travel a lot. I'm a big sports fan. So I go to as many games all over the country, and the Minnesota Packer, rivalry is intense, but I get really worked up. So I'm screaming Twins games, and I yell, and people get like, all right, like, chill. Everybody relax. But you go to other games, and people are like I went to my first Eagles game, and it was just Mad Max. Like, it was people, talk about going rogue.
Yeah.
I mean, those fans, and I remember there was a dude, and he had his hat sideways. He was smoking in the stadium, and they're playing the Rams, not a rival. And this guy was berating this Ram fan who was just politely eating a hot dog with his jersey. And this guy's like, yeah, the Rams, yeah, we're gonna eat Ram for lunch. Yelling at this other adult. And the guy was like 55 years old with his hat sideways, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like in Minnesota, you would get like life in prison. They'd be like, oh my God, we gotta lock him up. But Philadelphia, everybody was like, yeah. So like the Minnesota rivalries are so mellow.
Is that on the link menu? Ram, like the Ram dog, the Ram dog?
Apparently this guy was serving it up. Big time.
The Do-Over on Netflix starts streaming it Friday, May 27th. In the meantime, go check out Adam Sandler, David Spade, Rob Schneider, and you, sir. Nick Swardson, upcoming, starts tomorrow night in San Francisco. If you're in the Bay Area, do that. If you're in Gentile, Santa Barbara on the 22nd at the Santa Barbara Bowl, the Chicago Theater, that's a neat spot. Have you ever done anything in the Chicago Theater
I've been there once, yeah. I opened back in the day for somebody. And I mean, this tour is like once in a lifetime. So if you can, please check it out because I don't know if this will ever happen again.
Will you guys all hit the stage at the same time or separate sets?
Yeah. It's like a totem pole.
Okay.
So Adam's at the bottom, and we all sit up there with microphones, and we all do it one after the other. So it's a really unique experience.
By the way.
Never been done before.
Love the idea.
Yeah.
Love that idea, man.
Adam's brain is
Love
magical.
It. D.C., Brooklyn, Boston, and Uncasville, Connecticut.
Yep, Mohegan Sun, where Rich has had really controversial incidents.
Oh, no. 1999, Post-Sports Center, every freaking bar is closed in Central Connecticut, and we just look at each other like, Let's go to Uncasville.
Rich
Uncasville is
closes
calling
one
us.
eye. I got this.
Yeah, there was no Bristol Uber that night either.
Yeah.
But I didn't drive. No, I was just a mere passenger. Thanks for coming on, Nick.
Hey, Rich, thanks for having me.
At Nick Swardson, and if you're out there, Carl Anthony Towns, respond to this man when he goes all caps and exclamation points on you with nothing but platitudes. Come on, let's focus.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.